patience, ladies and gentlemen. We had a rather interesting meeting, and maybe if the Secretary of Justice has time later, I would like to talk to him privately, if I may. But in the meantime, we would like to thank General Benji Magalong, now Mayor of General, that is, and now Mayor. You would like to say General? That's nice. And also now Mayor Magalong for taking the time out, and thank the people of Baguio for lending him to us for a while in the pursuit of truth and justice. We thank you for your candor. Excuse me. And the committee would like to express its appreciation. Thank you very much. You may now go. I just thought I'd put that for the record, unless you want to make a statement.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, thank you very much po.
Thank you, Mayor Magalong, for the cooperation that you've extended to us. Thank you very much.
Sometimes, Mayor, I'd like to talk to you about the future of Baguio, on a bill, Mayor, on the greater Baguio. I want to know your views about that, because that was a bill we almost approved last time. We want to know what your thoughts are there later on, but not now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
po.
much.
Maraming salamat. Captain Faldon was requesting whether he was still needed here. I'm happy to tell you that you may now graduate and get back to your life. I asked the committee if I may let you go, and they said yes. Thank you for your cooperation. You've been very patient. You've been coming in and out. I know it's not been easy, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
My compliments, and enjoy motorbiking. I understand you've been motorbiking all over.
I'll be happy to tag you along, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my question is under Secretary. Oh, sige. Secretary Aguirre, do you have any suggestions on what has happened after? I read to you some of the data gathered by the staff assiduously, and you were there for a number of years, and a lot of people came out. Most of the people that came out of your during your watch, were they part of GCTA, or were they expired, or did you use GCTA as written by the latest law?
The request that came to my office, Your Honor, did not specify whether they are convicts of heinous crime, although there is a description there of high-risk inmates and expiration of term, but I don't really know how many of them are convicted of heinous crime.
From our research, and this is very preliminary because we have a truckload of documents that we're looking at, literally a truckload. We have 1,371 heinous crimes during a watch, and regular prisoners 2,304. So I suppose you really, as you say, ang question ko lang simple lang, no? Di ba dapat pagka kayo Secretary of Justice, and for that matter, any other lawyer worth his salt, he knows that the Department of Justice has control over the Bureau of Prisons. Would that be a correct assessment, sir?
That's not correct during our time already, Your Honor. We were emasculated of our powers, and we could not, as a matter of fact, we could not even prevent the transfer of an inmate from minimum to medium, medium to maximum, or to building 14. In other words, our power, the remaining power is limited to regulatory powers and quasi-judicial and review of quasi-judicial processes.
May I shed light, may I share with you some knowledge of this? if I recall correctly, Justice Aguirre, the relationship between the Bucor and the DOJ is that of administrative supervision. Is that correct?
That's correct,
And
General.
administrative supervision in our environment in the Department of Justice is interpreted as I can do what I want, except when budget time comes, I submit to you my budget and you include it in the budget of the Department of Justice.
As a matter of fact, there is even a provision in the new Bucor law that we are not in any way empowered to have anything to do with the budget of Bucor.
That is why. You know, one of the things that come out here is that in relation to the Bucor, the Department of Justice has been weakened to its full extent because you have absolutely no power.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And in your view, having been there, and now as a private citizen or private sector, are you in favor of returning back to the Department of Justice the supervision and control over the Bucor, given what we see today?
I completely agree, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, with the jobs being thrown to the current Secretary of Justice, I believe that without that power, he would be powerless.
All right. As my chairman pointed out, there were during your time about 1,371 inmates with convicted of heinous crimes and 2,304 of non-heinous offenses. Now, did I get it correctly that this did not go through the process under Department Order 953, which, as you will recall, required clearance of the Secretary of Justice in cases of releases of convicts who completed their service by virtue of the Good Conduct Time Allowance law?
I do not completely remember, Your Honor, how many of these convicts
Were submitted.
I gave my approval for their release. But I believe that the convicts that's supposed to get our approval are only those convicted of heinous crimes and high-risk inmates. The others will not go to
That's
us.
correct, sir. If I recall correctly, under Department Order 953,
953.
only those convicts convicted of heinous offenses, life imprisonment, would require your approval. I mean, your Secretary of Justice, even when they are to be released, even upon the completion of their sentences. Those who are not considered as those who are convicts of non-heinous crimes, there is just a reporting to you 30 days, within 30 days after the release. Is that correct?
I could not remember if I've received any report that those convicts of non-heinous crimes have been reported to us. But I could remember that these convicts to be released upon expiration of their sentence or upon the completion of their
Yes.
term, they asked for our clearance, but I don't know if all of them passed to our
So
office.
there were instances when your clearances were sought on this?
Yes, Your Honor. And we, I think there are plenty of but
Yeah, you don't
but it
recall
would
exactly
not,
when.
but I believe it would not exceed 100.
Yeah. So, but apparently there was inconsistency here because in some instances, admitted by Mr. Faeldon when he was there, he was just releasing it on his own volition, on his own power. Particularly that of Mayor Sanchez. That's why nakagulo ito. they were not clearing it with the Secretary of Justice.
I believe it's true because during the time of Secretary Guevara, according to him, none passed by his office.
Yes, Secretary
So,
Guevara, yeah.
and when I inquired about this, they said that they stopped getting our consent because it is no longer necessary in view of the new Bucor law. That 953 has already been superseded by the IRR of the new Bucor law. You must remember, Your Honor, that the IRR of the new Bucor law came after the promulgation of DO 953.
Are you saying that if the IRR under the new Bucor law did not require clearance, 953 is deemed repealed?
That's, I think, the interpretation of some in the Bureau and some in the DOJ.
Okay, anyway, oh, by the way, Secretary, you are now in the private sector. Are you a practicing lawyer today? Just curiosity.
I am semi-retired, Your Honor.
Wala ka ng kliyente.
I joined some law firm on a of-counsel basis.
Wala ka namang kliyente dito sa mga kamuting nakakulong dito.
Wala naman po.
Pati yung nasa loob lang. Just, tatakbo ka ba? Anyway, no, just
But,
put some levity.
But, Your Honor, may I just say what my interpretation of the law is concerned. I believe that
You're referring to the CGTA law.
yes, Your Honor, that it applies to all, regardless of the kind of crimes they've been convicted. Because under the law,
What particular plea
section
applies?
1, the one amending section 29, it only amends
The theory of the
provision on
Secretary.
preventive imprisonment,
Yes.
but nothing is said about the non-qualification of the other convicts.
Yes. All right. Maintain a contrary view, Mr. Secretary, and just for discussion. You are saying, just to clarify, you are saying that a heinous crime convict would be entitled to good conduct time allowance.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the contrary interpretation, and this is how the interpretation of the Secretary of Labor, is that they are excluded from the benefit of the good conduct time allowance law. Now, I'm just stating first the premises. Now, your interpretation that they are included is because when you compute the time allowance under Section 3, it doesn't exclude anybody. Is that what you're saying? That's the basis.
That's right only. That's right, Your Honor. It
Now-
only refers to the preventive imprisonment.
That's correct. Except that if you recall Section 1 on preventive imprisonment, it excludes from crediting those who are guilty of heinous crimes. And let me invite your attention. The law uses the word charge. In other words, if you are charged with a heinous crime, you cannot claim credit for your preventive imprisonment. That's under the law. It's clear. Di ba?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
No, yes.
Because what is only prohibited there is your being credited in Section 1 about the preventive imprisonment.
Yes, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Under Section 1 of the law, it is beyond debate that if you are being charged with a heinous crime, your period of as a detention prisoner cannot be deducted from your final judgment. That's clear under Section 1, di ba? Yes.
It's only the increased, the expanded GCTA that will not be deducted. But you should be credited the GTCA under the revised penal code. Although
Yeah, no, but the revised penal code credit you for preventive imprisonment. I don't recall.
In the revised penal code, there's also credit for GTCA, but in a reduced.
Anyway, the theory, and I think this is the basis of the Department of Justice, if those merely charged, underscore charged, with heinous crimes are excluded from the benefit of having their period of preventive imprisonment excluded, there is no rational nor justification for now allowing those convicted of heinous offenses to allow them to be credited and have the benefit of a good conduct time allowance. When in fact, if you are only charged, you are excluded from the benefit. With more reason, if you are convicted, you cannot avail of this benefit.
That's the problem with the law, Your Honor, because we are debating on this because the law is not clear. But even your interpretation could mean only that they will not be released, even if they've already completed their sentence during the preventive imprisonment. It could only refer to that.
Yeah, they could not be released. They could not be released.
They
But
will not
the principle is
because there is still a trial to be made.
yes, but if the principle is that they could not be released while they were just charged, with more reason, if they're already convicted, how can they be given the benefit? Anyway, the incumbent, our successor, the two of us, our successor is here, Secretary Guevara. Maybe you can explain.
Yes, thank you, Senator. We have already explained this quite a number of times as to how we came to the conclusion that it was the intention of the law really to exclude these four classes of PDLs from the coverage of Republic Act number 10592. As a matter of fact, that very same section cited by former Secretary Vita Aguirre contains a sentence, one sentence alone, that says, finally, provided finally, that recidivists, habitual delinquents, escapees, and persons charged with heinous crimes are excluded from the coverage of this act. This act.
This act, we agree, yes. Yeah.
So I think that's literally clear to everyone, especially if we relate this to the other provisions.
So in your view, Secretary Guevara, there is, just on that portion of the law, doesn't have to be amended. Because in your interpretation,
Yes.
heinous crimes convicts are excluded from the
Yes, sir. This is the
good
wording.
conduct time allowance.
Sorry, sir. Yes, that's the very wording of the law. It's just that maybe it were placed separately in its own section, not inside or not contained within this section 1 pertaining to preventive imprisonment. Maybe it could have been a lot clearer.
Okay.
Your Honor, I disagree because the Act does not refer to Republic Act number 10592. Act refers to Act number 3815, the revised penal code. That's the Act being referred to because that's the Act being amended. It is not this Act, 10592. It is the revised penal code, Act number 3815.
Well, if you look at the history of how this became, how this was enacted, originally the bill only referred to crediting of preventive imprisonment, not the CGTA for finally convicted. And that is why originally it used the word act because the act referred to the law that would have allowed you or allowed the convict to avail of the benefits of their preventive imprisonment being deducted unless you are convicted or you are charged with heinous crimes, in which case you cannot avail of this benefit. That was how the law came when it got to the Senate. But the senators, very bright, they included Section 3, which now refers to
GCTA.
finally convicted prisoners. Kaya nagkagulo. But the intention really is to exclude those who are convicted of heinous crimes.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Section 1 reads, Article 29 of 38.1 of Act 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code, is hereby further amended to read as follows. So it is the Revised Penal Code, Act number 3815, which is being amended.
I'm
That's
sorry,
why
I
when
disagree with
when
that.
the word act was being referred to in the last in the last paragraph, it refers to Act 3815, the Revised Penal Code.
May I say something, Mr. Senator? If that would be the correct interpretation, that would even make it worse for all of convicted persons. Because if we're saying that even under the revised penal code, these people convicted, recidivists, escapees, etc., will be excluded from the benefits being added under this new law, then that will be applying retroactively to their disadvantage something that is being crafted in 2013. So that makes their position even worse.
Your Honor, the recidivist...
Sir,
Excuse me.
Yes, Mr.
Chair will
Secretary.
rule,
Yeah.
the
I think
arguments
there's
are
enough
nice
already.
academically, and I think that is something that will eventually, hopefully, if Secretary Lee decides to bring it to the Supreme Court, let the Supreme Court decide. But at the moment, I tend to agree, as I've done from the very beginning, that the word act there, is not meant to include deductions or to be credited for heinous crimes. That would be an absurd situation.
That is the amendment, Your Honor. They put there the...
But I don't want to argue here right now because it's not the purpose of this investigation. Be that as it may, there has been an IRR issued already by the Department of Justice, and we're in the process of crafting our own rule. And everybody that we've spoken with, of course, this is not a popularity contest. Can you imagine if all these heinous crimes are credited with good conduct, then wala na matitira doon sa sentence nila? It would really be an absurd situation. Senator Go has been chafing this bit kanina pa. I'd like to ask further questions later, but because he has to go to copies out of parliamentary courtesy, I will let him ask his questions. You can see he's dressed like a doctor, so I think he's going to address the doctors in the Muntinlupa.
Thank you,
Dr.
Mr.
Go,
Chair.
please go ahead.
Nakapang-doktor lang po ako ngayon as Chairman of Committee on Health. Unang-una, napag-alaman ko po na mayroon palang drug rehabilitation center sa loob ng medium security compound, pero hindi po ito nagagamit. Gusto ko pong tanungin ng DOJ at Bucor kung totoo po ba ito. Kaya naman pala patuloy ang kalakaran ng droga at kaya hindi nakapag bagong buhay ang mga inmates ay dahil rin po sa kapabayaan ng ilang opisyal sa loob. Imbis na tutukan ang pagpapagamot ng mga nangangailangan, inuuna pang illegal na transaction sa mga drug lords. Mr. Chair, last hearing, we requested a list of high-profile inmates that had been admitted at the National Bilibid Prison Hospital. It seems like there's truth to the revelations of former Mayor Jose Galario. Anyway, ang hearing na ito hindi lamang po para sa pagdinig ang nangyayari, hindi ito for consumption lang po ng publiko, ngunit resulta po ang mangyayari. Wala pang final report, but heads have already rolled. May directives na po kagad ang Pangulo. Nag-wind up pa lang tayo sa mga hearings, marami nang nasuspindi, marami nang pinanagot, may resulta na ngayon pa lang kaagad. Rest assured, just tell the truth. You can come forward.
karapatan ng tao malaman ang katotohanan. This is the reality. May drugs, may corruption at criminality inside our penal institutions. Nakakalungkot isipin, but this is the reality. Hindi titigil ang ating kampanya labanan ang tatlong masasamang elemento na ito. Hindi titigil ang Pangulo hanggang mawala ang lahat ng ito. Anyway, first, a certain Wilfredo Arias was confined from December 26, 2018 until September 11, 2019 or 8 months for the nutritional derangement acute gastroenteritis. Hindi ba stomach ache lang ito? Next, a certain Noel Fernandez was confined for electrolyte imbalance from April 5, 2019 until September 19, 2019 or 5 months. Hindi ba dehydration lang ito? Next is a certain Willie Young who was confined for omental hernia for 5 months. We have also Romel Capones who was confined for hypertension and panic attack for 8 months. May I ask Dr. Senas, can you explain to us the nature of these illnesses and what is the usual period of confinement for all these illnesses?
Sir, with Your Honor, with regards to acute gastroenteritis is not going to take more than 2 weeks.
Bakit ang tagal? Sa Kalibanga?
Actually kasi sir, he was for discharge, but he was transferred to another ward. That's where doon po siya nagtagal sa ibang ward. Hindi na po doon sa ward na pinag-admitan sa kanya.
Bakit po hindi siya dapat ibalik kung saan siya nakakulong?
Sir, iba na pong may hawak doon sa ward na pinaglipatan sa kanya. So from our ward at Ward 3, tatlo po kaming doktor doon. Nung nilipat po si Wilfredo Arias sa annex surgery under another doctor na po. Iyon po yung dahilan. So, kung baga, kaming naunang tumingin no doktor doon, na doktor doon, wala na po kaming habol. Hawak sa kanya dahil nalipat po siya sa ibang ward, which is surgery.
Tatanungin ko po kayo ulit, totoo bang merong nagpapabayad dyan sa loob para ma-admit at ma-confine sa hospital kahit walang sakit ang inmate?
Your Honor, I invoke my right for against self-incrimination as advised by my counsel.
Ano ang proseso sa pag-request ng confinement? Magbigay ka ng mga pangalan ng mga inmates na nagre-request na ma-admit kahit na wala pong sakit.
Your Honor, I could not give the names because the patients we have admitted they have complaints. They have complaints.
Sinong kasamahan mo sa mga hospital na narito ngayon sa loob?
Yes, Your Honor. My boss here, Dr. Tamayo, and also our nursing attendant here, Meryl Benitez.
Balita ko merong 2 pasyente discharged noon but was deferred by Dr. Tamayo. Bakit ino-overrule yung Dr. Tamayo, can you answer?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Kasi pumunta po yung lawyer niya because of kamamatay lang po yung daw mother niya. So binigyan ko po siya na 2 to 3 days para mag-settle down bago po ilipat.
Totoo bang merong bayaran dyan ng 40,000 or higher?
Tungkol po sa akin, sa naririnig ko po, wala po eh. Ang kwan ko lang, wala po kasi akong hard evidence na may bayaran talaga. Pero meron na po akong naririnig tungkol po dyan.
So, narinig lang.
Yes po, chismis lang po kasi. Kaya ayokong kwan. Kasi mahirap po magturo na walang ebidensya po.
Anyway, hintayin nyo lang po. Papasa ko lang sa committee yung mga ebidensya laban sa iyo. Nakalungkot talaga. Isipin itong tuloy-tuloy talaga. Sa Bucor naman po, wala pa rito yung bagong talagang Bucor. What are the weapons and equipment issued to Bucor personnel sa ngayon po? Ano bang to General Buenape?
Yes, Your Honor. Meron rin ho mga Glock na mga pistols, may mga rifles din po. At sa ngayon, marami ang augmentation troops natin from the Special Action Force at well-equipped po sila.
Wala ba kayong mga granada in-issue sa mga personnel ninyo?
I will check on that, Your Honor, and we will submit the
Since we are
inventory.
still deliberating the budget, may we could include the purchases of grenades and other additional equipments para magamit ninyo sa para pagbantay ninyo sa mga drug lords.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Baka pwede nyong ma-consider po ito. Anyway, hindi ko na po habaan sa akin tungkol dito sa ospital. Pero, Dr. Tamayo, tingnan mo yung mga nasa paligid mo. Dito na yung mga ebidensya laban sa'yo. And then another, last na ito. Alis na po ako. Kay Dr. Tamayo at kay Dr. Senas, do you put IV or dextrose sa mga pasyente kapag admitted po sila sa ospital? Paano po? Depende sa sakit.
Actually, yes sir. Depende po sa kung ano po yung impression, kung ano po yung magiging, kung ano po yung ina-entertain natin diagnosis.
Gaano katagal naman po sila naka-IV? Ilang buwan? Linggo?
Well, depende po yun sa recovery, depende po yun sa depende po yun sa result ng diagnostics. So depende po yun sa symptoms ng pasyente. So kung okay na yung pasyente, pwede na pong tanggalin yung dextrose. Again, for observation. At pag okay na din, that's the time we decide.
Sa mga kasamahan mo, mga katabi mo, si Ma'am Meryl Benitez, sa ospital rin mo ba kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano naman po ang iyong partisipasyon sa proseso ng pagpapa-admit?
When it comes to process po, Your Honor, hindi po kasi kami ang nag-a-admit. Nursing attendant po ako. Ang trabaho ko po bilang nursing attendant is mag-vital signs po ng mga pasyente at saka po magsilid po ng mga gamot, Your Honor.
So hindi walang katotohanan na may nagpapabayad dyan sa loob ng ospital?
Wala po, Your Honor. Wala rin po akong nakikita at wala rin po akong naririnig, Your Honor.
To Dr. Senas, ulitin ko, wala kang, for the record marami pong nakikinig. Tatanungin kita uli. Wala kang nalalaman na nagpapabayad dyan sa loob? Yes or no?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Merong nagpapabayad dyan sa loob?
Hindi Ano nila?
Yes or no lang. Yes or no. Meron bang nagpapabayad dyan sa loob ng NBP Hospital? For the record ito. Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron.
Yeah.
So, klaro yan. Eh, tungkol naman dito sa dextrose, sa mga doctors, baka meron ba kayong mga gamot na pampatulog na pwedeng isaksak sa IV or sa dextrose na pwede nating gamitin dun sa nagkukunwaring may sakit para makatulog at makapagpahinga na sila ng habang buhay o habang yung mga drug lord dyan na gustong matulog na matagal, wala ba kayong pwedeng isaksak sa kanila?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala bang ganong gamot?
Wala po. Actually po, Your Honor, kasi meron tayong mga pasyente na with insomnia. We could start with oral na pampatulog. Unfortunately, wala po tayo sa Bilibid. As of the past years, the past months. So, ang ginagamit, especially for agitated patients like pasyente doon sa Ward 4, ang binibigay po natin doon, ini-inject na lang natin sila ng diphenhydramine. Diphenhydramine is a anti-allergy. Kaya lang, ang pinaka-side effect noon is antok. And we only give that to agitated patients na i-confine sa Ward 4. So, ito yung mga pasyente
So, walang yung tuloy-tuloy na tulog na?
Wala po, Your Honor. Hindi po pwede yun kasi kailangan po i-monitor yun. Kung natuluyan, hindi po pwede.
Ayan ang hinahanap natin. Hindi lang suggestion ni Bato. Balikan ko lang po yung tanong ko kanina. Since sinagot mo na po, merong yes. Yes, merong bayaran. Magkano naman po ang bayaran? Kapalit sa pagkaalam nyo po, wala po akong tinuturo na sino. Magkano naman po ang bayaran? Yung kapalit ng overstaying sa ospital. At hindi lang yung overstaying dyan sa Bilibid Hospital. Pati rin po yung lumalabas ng Bilibid. Meron ba, totoo ba yung meron bayaran para makalabas ka ng Bilibid Hospital at magpapa-admit sa labas?
How would I say that?
Totoo yun?
May naririnig lang po ako. Meron po ako naririnig.
So, nangyayari po yun?
Na meron
So,
ganun nangyayari.
Binabayaran para ma-admit sila sa labas, makakalabas sila sa Bilibid at doon sila sa private hospital sa labas.
For your information, Your Honor, since what year ito, wala na po kasing private hospital na pwedeng pag-referan ng mga pasyente from Bilibid. So, during the time of Secretary de Lima, nag-issue po siya ng department order na lahat ng pasyente na galing Bilibid ay pwede na pong i-admit sa government hospitals. So, kung time pa ni Secretary de Lima yun, siguro ano na ngayon, 2019, mga 5 to 6 years, wala na pong pasyente na nire-refer sa private hospital.
Kadalasan ba mga drug lord yung mga nakakalabas, nagpapa-admit?
Hindi po totoo yun, Your Honor. Kasi ang dami po naming inmates. No? We have 26,000 inmates. And ang dami po nating cases. Actually, ang pinaka-refer talaga na pasyente is yung merong chronic kidney disease. So, chronic kidney disease resulting from diabetes or hypertension, ito po yung nagda-dialysis, hemodialysis 2 to 3 times a week. So, ito po yung mga mas maraming nire-refer. So, there are other cases referred outside, mga heart problems. So, merong heart diseases and then stroke patients, we also refer them out. And then merong surgical patients. We also have a lot of patients with cancer. So marami po tayong may cancer sa loob, renal CA, colon CA, ano pa ba ibang cancer natin sa loob. And then neck masses, for neck masses actually, meron po tayong maraming pasyente, and then, ano pa man nire-refer sa labas? So, more or less yun po yung, ano, distribution or the mga sakit ng pasyente na nire-refer natin sa labas. So, some patients actually are referred outside for diagnostic reasons. Kasi po, sa loob, wala po tayong chest x-ray. Kahit po chest x-ray, wala. And then for laboratory examinations, our patients have to pay for their laboratory examinations. And then, ultrasound, once a month lang po ang ultrasound. So, imagine mo yun, kung gaano kadami yung pasyente sa loob, tapos once a month lang yung ultrasound. So, wala po tayong mga special laboratory procedures like 2D echo. Wala po tayong ganun. So, in cases talaga na we need to refer them out because we want to confirm the diagnosis, then we do it. Kasi meron tayong for MRI, meron tayong for CT scan. So wala po tayo noon. So we also have, I don't know if I could mention, HIV cases. We have HIV cases in Bilibid. And we refer them out to...
Marami nang namamatay sa HIV.
Since the time I handled it, 1, 2, more or less siguro mga 5 patients. 5 patients already. Unfortunately, kasi for us at NBP, since we do not have the diagnostics, we have to refer them out to RITM. Kasi ang mahal po nung diagnostics. So ang ginagawa po noon sa HIV patients is for them, pagdating po ng RITM, parang one-stop shop. So lahat po ng procedures na kailangan gagawin for them, nagagawa po sa RITM, walang bayad. Kasi meron pong pinapasok po sa PhilHealth yun. So, sinubukan ko magdala ako doon just to experience how the process is. Nung nagdala kami ng pasyente doon, walang pambayad ng pasyente, so we have to go to the social work at RITM.
Maglagay tayo ng malasakit center dyan sa loob ng hospital. Gusto nyo? Anyway, nakausap ko na po, nung nakaraang pumunta ako doon, nakita ko talaga yung mga katayuan ng mga matatanda. Kawawa talaga. So kinausap ko na po si Secretary Duque, kesa naman po ma-expire yung mga medisina, sabi ko ipadala yung iba sa loob ng NBP Hospital at nakapag-deliver na po yata sila, Dr. Tamayo, nakapag-deliver na ba sila ng mga medisina. And also I requested for dialysis machine. Kasi po, para maiwasan yung duda, bakit nakakalabas, balita ko, nagpapadialysis daw po dyan sa Las Piñas, yung mga preso, sa mga private dialysis. Baka dududahan na naman, bakit nakakalabas itong mga to. So kung pwedeng lagyan po ng dialysis machine. At sumang-ayon naman si Secretary Duque na maglagay po tayo ng dialysis machine sa loob po ng MVP Hospital. Yun lang po. At since sinabi mo na kanina na meron talagang for the record yun, may bayaran dyan, parang hindi naniniwala yung director ng NBI dahil natutulog na. Anyway, Bato, Mr. Chair, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just on the point, we can continue. Just one.
Of course you may.
Yes. In so far as the releases of patients to hospitals outside of the penitentiary, doesn't that require the clearance of the Secretary of Justice, Mr. Secretary?
That is correct, Senator. As a matter of fact, we have received many such requests coming from the Bucor seeking approval for the referral of certain PDLs to government hospitals outside on the ground that facilities within the NBP hospital are not adequate to meet the requirements of the PDL.
So there can be no releases to hospitals outside of the National Penitentiary without the clearance of the Secretary consistent with the manual of the operations manual of the Bureau of Corrections.
That is correct, Your Honor.
In the particular case which was the subject of the queries of Senator Go, was the clearance of the Secretary secured? I was referring to the earlier questions raised by Senator Go.
Senator, my understanding is that these PDLs were referred to the MVP hospital inside the premises. So that does not concern the Department of Justice proper.
Because one of the things that we are looking at is the corruption that takes place for the issuance of certificates requiring confinement in hospitals outside of the compound, because that is where more access will result. Access of the drug syndicates, directions being given from the telephone, since there is more difficulty in monitoring this. That's why I'm referring to those confinements to outside hospitals. This is where I am seeking finding out whether or not in fact clearances were secured from the Secretary of Justice.
Yes, sir. Clearances were secured from the DOJ proper. Upon the representation of the Bucor about the non-availability of facilities inside and a medical certification about the severity of the illness of the person concerned.
These are very technical medical issues. What process do you follow to make sure that these certificates were not bought?
Our technical staff within the department evaluates all of these submissions.
Your staff is not a physician.
Definitely, they're mostly lawyers, not doctors. But of course, we have to rely upon the representation that there is a medical certificate issued by a doctor from the Bucor. So, in the Department of Health, if I'm not mistaken. So we simply presume, Senator, presume the regularity
Yes.
of these issuances.
Yes. You rely on presumption of regularity in the performance of public functions. Unfortunately, in the case of the Bucor that we see around, that presumption does not apply at all. The presumption is exactly the opposite if you look at it very closely. It's quite unfortunate, and as I'm, the Department of Justice certainly does not have the capability to check on the veracity of these medical certificates, and if the corruption takes place from the source, it's extremely difficult. I can imagine the number of clearances requested, and if you just would have to check on each of these requests, you'll have no more time to do anything else but to check on the veracity. I guess that's the problem that we face here. The corruption is endemic and systemic. The difficulty of cracking at the syndicates becomes very obvious when you look at how the system operates. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Dillon. I just have a few questions with the medical staff. Narinig na natin, may bayaran sa pagpasok ng kubol, pagpasok ng telepono, pagpasok ng tilapia, mga babae. Lahat ng galaw may bayad. Right? Now, nandito tayo sa medicine, thanks to Senator Go, sabi kayo na naglalagaya nga at ginagamit pa yung opisina di umano
ng medical sa Muntinlupa para mag-transact ng negosyo for drugs outside. Now, Dr. Tamayo, or Dr. any of you can answer. Dr. Senyas, do you believe that dictum, where there's smoke, there's fire? Can you speak to the microphone, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
So maraming umuusok sa inyo eh. No, kasi so, meron pa ako nagbalita sa akin kanina, isang matanda, and I think one of these people told me, na isang matanda, may sakit, hindi niya pinalabas, namatay na lang. Kailangan sana ilabas dahil hindi niyo kaya sa loob. I'm going to find out who that man is because to me that is most vulnerable. Are you familiar with such a case? Any of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are familiar.
Actually, kasi ganito po yun, Your Honor.
Sige, sabihin sa akin paano yung ganito.
Kasi, kunwari, meron kaming pasyenteng ilalabas, kailangan po kasi siyang may relatives. Kasi, kailangan may magbabantay na relatives sa labas for their medications or for whatever procedure. So, requirement po yun, Your Honor, na kailangan may relative. So, pag wala pong relative, hindi po yun na ilalabas. Kasi yung gwardiya lang po talaga. At saka, ano po kasi Your Honor
Yung ang labanan dyan, agaw buhay yung tao, kailangan ilabas. Pwede naman sabihan ng, pwede sabihan ng DSWD, sa sekretary, na tulungan itong tao habang nasa labas. Pwede po ba yan?
That is possible.
Pwede. Pwede rin tawagin ng Red Cross.
Of course.
Sigurado,
Sure.
tutulong kami dyan.
Senator.
Pero hindi nyo pinalabas, kaya namatay.
Hindi po ako familiar dun sa kaso
Ano
kasi...
naman bigla? Kanina, familiar ka na. Ano yan?
No, Your Honor. Ang ibig ko lang pong sabihin kasi,
Nagrarason ka na, hindi pa lumalabas yung specific instance. I'm
Ano
sorry
po?
for being impatient, but
yeah.
may tanong is simple. Are you familiar with that? Sabi mo, yes sir. Ang sabi mo, hindi basta-basta may panguluwas kung walang bantay doon. Kaya sinagot ko ang solution, tawag tayo sa DSWD para mabantayan yon. Tama po ba yan?
Tama po, Your Honor.
So, in other words, I'm sure nangyayari yan. Pwede ko ba sabihin nyo, nangyayari yun?
Marami po kasing factors on Your Honor na i-consider pag nagpapalabas ng pasyente.
Wala pa
So,
tayo doon sa sinasabi yung negligence nyo.
Hindi po, hindi po. This is not negligence.
Sinasabi ko lang, nangyayari ba yun o hindi?
Nangyayari po. Nangyayari po yan.
Thank you po, Doctor. Thank you.
Ah,
Now you may explain.
ganito po kasi, Your Honor. Pag nagpapalabas po ng pasyente, the first thing that we do is the medical abstract. Tapos,
May amount yan, di ba?
hindi po. Wala po.
wala.
doon.
Meron isang araw.
Wala po.
Meron yan, meron.
Wala po.
May bayad yung medical abstract.
Wala po.
Ayun ako.
Wala po.
Huwag
So,
so, magsinungaling, magagalit ako sa iyo. Talaga magtatanong ako dito lang katakot-takot.
after po doon kasi, Your Honor,
Huwag kayo natatawa, totoo naman yun.
after po yun, Your Honor, i-request po natin siya ng pass, escorts, at saka transportation.
Kanino?
Sa doon po sa concerned divisions. So,
Sino yung concerned division?
pag transpo po sa transportation,
Transportation.
Pagpas
Wala
po
ba kayong ambulansya dyan?
meron po.
Meron.
Meron po. Kaya lang i-request pa rin po yun. Tapos meron po tayong escorts. Kasi kailangan ng escorts.
Siyempre.
Oo. So ngayon,
Kahit kahit na ang sakit agaw buhay, kailangan pa ng escortan.
ganun po talaga, Your Honor Ganun po talaga.
Sige.
Tapos, sa PINA people,
Yung ba nakalagay sa protocol, everybody must be escorted, dapat nakaposas, paa at kamay, yun ba?
not necessary naman po,
Not
Your Honor.
necessary.
Yes. Kasi pag madala naman pasyente, wala na pong posas yun.
Kaya nga, wala na laban yun eh.
Di-
Mamadali tayo, dadali yung pasyente, mamamatay, lalo makasamang iba, tatawag sa transportation, may ambulansya kayo, dadali na. Bago dalhin nyo, dadaan pa kayo saan?
Ganito po, Your Honor. So, tatawag pa tayo ng subpoena kasi kailangan ng fingerprinting. So, before po ilabas yung isang PDL from Bilibid for
Tatawag kayo saan?
subpoena po. Kasi yung sila po mag-fingerprint. Ibig sabihin,
Subpoena?
Subpoena. Meron kaming office doon na tinatawag na subpoena. Tapos sila po yung nag-fingerprint. Oo.
Pwede lang pumunta doon sa may sakit yun.
Sila pong pupunta.
Mabilis.
So sila pong pupunta.
Sige.
May mga, kagaya po pag if it is afternoon or evening shifts, on call lang po ang subpoena. So hahanapin pa namin yun. So pwede pong magtagal doon.
Eh, lahat naman ng rason, tinatawag niya eh. Kung wala ba sa'yo, wala ka man discarded doon, your duty is to save the patient.
Actually po,
Lalagyan ko na lang ng posesyon, dalhin nyo na kagad yan. Habang tinitigyan, nakaposesyon, pwede na yun.
sana po ganun po yung procedure.
Eh, ba't di nyo i-recommend yung procedure na yun? Kung mamamatay ang pasyente at kulang kayo sa subpoena, kung ano yung subpoena na yan? Alam ko subpoena, dokumento yun o tao lang tinatawag.
So,
In other words, ang bureaucracy, ginagamit niya para mag-excuse na huwag magpalabas. Pero pag kami pantadulas, yung abstract, mabilis, kung malakas yung magpapalabas, meron.
hindi po kasi...
I am laying the predicate.
Hindi po ganun, Your Honor, actually. Kasi, yung iba kasing proseso, hindi po namin hawak. O like, kung minsan, hindi pala minsan, wala pong escorts. Pag walang escorts, hindi na ilalabas. Pag
Sabihin
wala,
natin kay Secretary Guevara, gumawa ng protocols dyan.
pag wala pong transportation, hindi rin ilalabas. At ito po ang napakasaklap. Pag wala pong gasolina, hindi po nalalabas.
Kulang?
Gasolina.
Gasolina.
Yes.
Kung walang,
Ang dami po talagang hindi na po namin alam yung iba. Kasi yung sa amin naman, ginagawa na namin yung trabaho
do
namin.
you know that you can be charged with human rights abuse for that? Di ba? Under your oath as a doctor, you can be charged for that. You have to take care of the patient and to use all in your power to make sure that the patient survives. Tama po ba yan?
Your Honor, follow-up po kami ng follow-up actually. Wala na po kaming
No,
ginawa.
but that's the
kundi
problem with
follow-up.
the government, di ba? I do not want to say even the government because ako lang sa gobyerno ako eh. Ayoko yung magpapahintay ako ng tao, kailangan ng dugo. I-deliver nyo na, baka mamatayan. You've heard me say that here before. Kukunin pa yung dugo sa Red Cross. Kahit anong hirap ng tao, pagka mamamatay ang tao, kailangan ng dugo, ipa-deliver nyo na. We eat the cost. Anong say ng COA doon? Ilabas na nga. Oh. Kayo ang number one sa bureaucracy. Tingnan ko ano sasagot nyo
Yes,
ngayon.
Your Honor. I think the procedures can be taken aside in the meantime that it is a case of emergency.
That's correct. See? Mabuti pa yung COA, hindi doktor. Ikaw, doktor ka, hindi mo naman sagot. Saka na natin pag-usapan yan, pusasan muna natin para mailabas, para magamot, tapos habulin na lang yung procedure. Tama? So you see, may result lahat. Kung kayo, innovator kayo, you will say, may problema kami dito sa ospital, kulang kami ng tao, papatawag pa, papahanap pa yung supina, tapos wala pang blatter, siguro, maraming rason. Maaari rin gamitin niya na, sorry, malatagal pa, hanapin namin, siguro kailangan natin ng pamasahe para hanapin yun eh. Meron ka bang pamasahe niya para mapahanap ko? Pwede o dipindi? Yan ang rason sa corruption eh. Ang corruption, i-delay yung tao hanggang magbigay. Katulad nga nitong mga tao rito, alam na na ilalabas, hihingihan sila, alam na nila, so maghihingi. Ibibitin, 90 days dapat ang bawas, naging 45 days. Tama ba yan, Mr. Gamboa? Tapos magbibilin, dagdagan mo ba? So, I hope Secretary Guevara, you're listening to this because these are badges of exploitation, of opportunities for corruption. That means life is involved. Now, here I go again. Are you familiar with a patient that spent 10 months, a very rich Chinese patient, that was sent out of the hospital? I know. Correctional siya nakadetain. Saan yung women's correctional? Alright? Pero under rin kay Secretary Guevara yan. I really do not agree kanina yung debate ninyo ni Senator De Leon sa ni Senator Aguirre. I really think that the Secretary of Justice can exert its influence over. Malaman tayo ako, malakas ang loob ko eh. Pag binasa ko yung administrative supervision or executive supervision, talaga tutusin, malinaw sa akin na Secretary of Justice ang talaga may control kung talaga tutusin. Pero yung day-to-day, yung processes sila. Pero when it comes to signing, reviewing, revising, modifying, nasa inyong control. Hindi ba totoo po yan?
That is correct with respect to regulatory functions or
That's
quasi-judicial
correct.
functions only
Yes, sir.
of the.
Halimbawa, what is a regulatory function? Halimbawa,
That is what we have been
papalabasin
thinking
yung preso.
about.
Di ba naglabas kayo ng 953? Ang sabi, pag lalabas ng 953, kailangan, bago maglabas, dapat meron tayong sinatawag na pirma ng Secretary of Justice, lalo na kung life imprisonment. Tama po ba yun?
Well, by virtue of that department order, yes.
It becomes a regulatory function.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
really be able to say technically that that is a regulatory function in the ordinary sense of the word, because we normally associate regulatory function with, let's say, issuance of a license or a permit or something like that. Rate fixing, that is our normal conceptualization of a regulatory
It's
function.
normal. Let me be abnormal then.
Well, in a very loose sense, yes, but basically that's operational, if I may say so.
Let me be abnormal then. If a regulation says, alright, ito, lalabas yung pasyente, walang kwan, tatagal pa. I make a regulation now, sabihin ko, as Secretary of Justice, watay ng protocol, in case of emergencies, palabasin nyo na muna yan, may posas, o pasabahan nyo ng gwardiya, gawin nyo, that would be regulatory, right?
That's operational as far as I'm concerned, but regulatory in a very loose sense.
Right, thank you very much. You have good judgment. Anyway, to make a long story short, are you familiar, sir, with a case where a prisoner, Miss Marasigan, lumabas sa 10 buwan. Napakahirap magpalabas ng preso. 10 buwan, naroon sa isang ospital. At ang sakit niya ay facial pain. Napahubo tuloy si Senator Julo. Facial pain. At naging 10 months siya. Ito yung papel, oh. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino yan?
PDL Yuyuklay, Your Honor.
Ha?
PDL Yuyuklay.
Yuyuklay. Sikat na sikat siya, no? Ang daming beses ko narinig yan. Narinig ko ata kay Senator Baton, narinig ko ata kung kanino, kay Senator Dillon. So, lumabas siya, 10 months. Hindi kayo nagtanong, bakit 10 buwan na yan, nakalabas na yan?
Your Honor, the PDL Yuyuklay.
Sino nagpalabas doon? Sino ang doktor?
The previous doctor, Dr. Dakuma.
Ano pangalan?
Dakuma po. Laila Dakuma po.
Laila
Dakuma.
Dakuma.
Yes.
Dakuma.
Yes, Your Honor.
Saan na palabas yan?
Yes, Your Honor. With the DOJ approval po on November 24, 2014. There was a DOJ.
Kusado mo November?
It's here, sir.
Sige, pakita mo.
November 24, 2014, there was a DOJ approval, sir.
Approval nino?
Secretary of Justice De Lima.
Sino?
Secretary of Justice De Lima.
Wala. Hindi ako naghanap ng away kay Secretary de Lima. Natapat lang. So, yun ang procedure, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, kung nandun na siya, 10 buwan na siya doon. At alam nyo, eto, narinig ko, ang hirap-hirap makakuha ng abstract.
Yes, sir.
Ang hirap-hirap makapagpalabas.
Yes, sir.
Ang hirap-hirap pumasok doon sa loob ng ospital sa Bilibid. Eto, nakalabas sa 10 buwan. Hindi kayo nagtataka? Ang galing naman ito, 10 buwan. Ano ba yun? Corrective surgery? Ano ba yan?
No, sir.
Ano pala?
The patient underwent lang po different laboratory workups.
Laboratory?
Workups, sir.
Workup?
Yes.
Yun lang?
Yes, sir. During the time, sir, as per record, sir, patient Yuyuklay was also undergoing therapy due to anxiety with depressive symptoms.
Depressed siya.
Yes.
May anxiety siya. Hindi naman siya na-stroke.
Initially, sir, the findings was transient ischemic attack. It was a stroke-like
Parang
symptom.
ischemic attack.
Yes.
Pero hindi ischemic attack.
No, sir. It was just transient ischemic attack.
Stroke lang yun. Ischemic attack, kunyari.
Yes. It's a
Ano yung
transient.
stroke?
It's a
Palusot
brief.
lang.
It's a brief episode, which resolves within 24 hours.
Transient.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pabula-bula. Bumabula, nawawala. Tama?
The symptoms would last from minutes to an hour or less than 24 hours, Your Honor.
10 months.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that reasonable?
No, Your Honor, we have communications with the doctors, the physicians regarding this. In fact, with our record, we have communications from our superintendent at that time,
Sino yung superintendent?
Dr. Dakuma,
Oh.
to expedite the transfer back of the discharge of PTLU Uclay.
Tumalik siya uli.
Yes.
After 10 months.
They were trying to communicate with the doctors at Metropolitan Medical Center
Aha.
for the discharge.
Dinala siya sa Metropolitan. Metropolitan is in Binondo, correct?
As far as I know, yes, Your
If
Honor.
I remember my Manila correctly. Binondo. Asan na Muntinlupa? Gano'ng kalayo yun? Nasaan yung bureau ay yung
In
corrections?
Mandaluyong, in Mandaluyong, sir.
Mandaluyong?
Yes.
Hindi pwede sa Medical City.
Uh,
Hindi pwede doon sa Mandaluyong Public Hospital na city. Hindi pwede dito sa St. Luke's.
since the approval of the DOJ was approved at Metropolitan Medical Center, Your Honor.
Wow, pagka malaking tao, doon ako sa hospital na gusto ko, Metropolitan Hospital. Ganun ba yan?
As per record,
Tell me the truth.
yes, as per
Request na yun, dali siya doon, right? Right?
I would not know, sir.
You would not know, but hindi mo tinanong yun. Ba't mo tinala dyan? Hindi ba
The-
dapat call lang
the-
doktor yun,
yes.
dadali niya, sasabihin niya gusto ko sa Metropolitan, ang layo.
The-
Buti hindi sinabi siya, kailangan namin ng panggasolina. Sinabi ni doktor dito kanina, walang gasolina. Pero dito may gasolina. Wow.
I would not be able to answer that for the medical doctor.
I don't expect you to answer that, not your knowledge, but do you know of any doctor who allowed that?
Allowed what, Your Honor? Come
Hmm?
again, sir.
Hmm?
Allowed what, sir? Can you repeat your question, Your Honor?
Can you speak to the microphone?
Ah.
Yes, please.
Can you repeat your question, Your
My
Honor?
question is, yung doktor, hindi mo alam kung sino yung doktor na nagpadala doon?
The doctor before was Dr. Dakuma.
Dakuma?
She was
S-A-C-U-M-A.
DACUMA. Dakuma, sir.
D as in Dick.
Yes, sir.
Dakuma.
Dakuma.
Ang laki.
Ah,
Ma, ano ba yan?
Dr. Dakuma is already retired from the bureau, Your Honor.
Pagkino ko na para matawa tayo. Masyado ka seryoso. Dakuma.
Yes.
Oh, sabi ni Dakuma, dalhin doon sa Metropolitan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi nagtanong yung driver, may gasolina ba tayo? And I'm putting it to this logical extreme, almost exaggerating to a point. Because pagka mayaman, pwedeng dalhin doon sa gustong ospital. Pagka mahirap, walang gasolina. O, Doc Senyas. Semenyas ka nga sa akin, ang tama. Never mind.
Your Honor,
I'm just citing that position because that lady spent 10 months there for a transient ischemic attack and facial pain. How does one get away with that in God's earth?
Sir, I would not be able to answer that. But,
Tandaanin mo na lang sa ngiti.
no, sir. As per our record, sir, as I said earlier, the superintendent and even communicated with the NBP, in the Director General, to ask for help to discharge the patient.
All right. Was that the only time she went out? Naman.
No, Your Honor.
Oh, second time. Ano naman yun pa second time?
She was
When?
she was admitted from May 7 to May 30, 2016, Your Honor, at Metropolitan Medical Center.
Metropolitan na naman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Paborito niya, no? May bantay ba yan pag nandoon?
Sir?
May bantay.
Yes, sir.
Of course, may bantay. Yun yun, nasasacrifice yung isang preso doon for 10 months. Ito, ilang araw ito?
23 days, Your Honor.
33 days.
23.
23 days. Wow. Ano naman ang sakit ngayon?
According to our record, sir, She suffered from heat exhaustion and hypothyroidism.
Hypothyroidism.
Yes, Your Honor.
Marami may ganyan. Hindi lang i-spend ng 33 days in prison, in hospital, or 23 days in the hospital. What's
Yes,
your
Your
grade?
Honor. Yes,
Do
Your
you have
Honor.
hypothyroidism?
No, sir.
Are you hyper?
No, sir.
You don't have a thyroid?
I have a thyroid, but I'm euthyroid, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I like the way you answer. You're very pleasant. Now, let me ask you another question. Meron pa bang ibang beses?
The last one was March 15 to May 2, 2017, Your Honor, at Philippine Heart Center.
Philippine Heart Center mga yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
For what?
Initially, the initial impression was coronary artery disease, as she was suffering from chest pain, and the final discharge was hypertensive atherosclerosis cardiovascular disease.
And where is the patient now?
Patient is PDL Uyuklay is at CIW.
Is she cured?
She's
Nakabalik na siya?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long is she in for?
For from March 15, 2017 to May 2, 2017.
No, what is her sentence?
Her sentence
What is her crime and sentence?
Violation of Section 15, Article 3, RA 6425.
Sorry?
RA 6425, sir. Drugs.
Drugs.
Yes, sir.
So, ilan ang sentence? Life?
Reclusion perpetua, sir.
Right. Is it not true na pinababalik na siya na sa preso pero hindi pa siya bumalik?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it true that, I'm sorry,
At any
sir?
time na nakakunahan doon siya sa hospital, sumalat sa kanya si officer in charge, Edelinda Garcia, ganda naman ang pangalan ito, Patak.
Dr. Patak. Yes.
Patak.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Patak.
Dr. Patak.
Nangingiba ng patak yun o ano?
Of-
Hindi naman. Now, I'm just, nataka lang ako bakit napaka-special eh. Pinababalik siya dahil na-confine na siya medyo matagal at ang nakalagay dito, in reiteration of previous memoranda dated, sila sulat ito July 1 and 3, 2015 respectively, and text message through option today, you are hereby directed to coordinate with hospital authorities for the immediate balik nyo na kaagad of inmate Yu Yuklay back to CIW, Correctional Institute for Women,
Yes, Your Honor.
as per instruction of ADCA Diaz in view court action slip dated July 1, 2015. Based on the recommendation of Dr. Cynthia P. De Lara, OIC Medical and Dental Division, NBP, noted by Bucor Director General Cruz, and Dr. Joyce Hoyas, ang dami nyo May dentist, may medical officer, psychiatrist. As medical officer 3 of Correctional Institute, failure to comply means insubordination, disobedience to a superior order. Bumalik ba siya pagkatapos ito?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Ando pa siya?
After the, that was dated July.
4, 2015.
Yes. She was not yet discharged at that time, Your Honor.
No, pero binalik ba siya? From the hospital where she was at. In truth and in fact, bumalik siya October 26,
Yes.
2016.
2016. 2015, I'm sorry, yes.
O, alam mo pala eh.
Yes,
Eh,
sir.
July pa ito sulat na ito.
Yes,
May
Your
previous
Honor.
letters pa. How come she rates such special treatment?
With I think as per the record, Your Honor, there were times that the primary physician of the PDL Uclay failed to give the discharge orders from.
Of course, that was in Metropolitan Hospital.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you never bothered to ask Metropolitan, ano ba yan? You could be liable for faking medical reports or abstracts. I don't want to use abstract eh. Sige.
As per our record, Your Honor, Dr. Dakuma communicated this to the physician in charge.
All right, thank you. And now go back to Dr. Senyas and Dr. Tamayo. I have it on good authority, and I have a letter here to prove it. At some point in time, and you were asked by Senator Go, you would not let anybody, one person, go out of the hospital without paying 40,000. 40,000 pesos. Do you remember that? Let the record state that the witness is stunned, silent, cannot answer. I'm looking at you, Dr. Tamayo. You're the only bald person there that's shining bright in this otherwise somber room.
I don't remember anything like that.
What about you, Dr. Senyas? Do you remember? I have your letter.
Your Honor, as far as there were talks about it.
There were talks.
Yeah.
You mean there were negotiations? When you say there were talks in parlance, may negosasyon.
May mga kwento.
May nagkwento.
May mga kwentong ganun.
Pero balitang-balita ba yan?
Para kasing
Let me go to another point.
para kasing alam naman na. Parang it's given. It's given.
Given.
Yeah.
Kumbaga geometry, ito ang given.
Yes, sir.
Geometry ba yan? Baksak ako sa mate. Given. Tanggap na. Talagang ganyan. Por supuesto. Lahat tayo magagawa. Ganyan ang nangyayari. 40,000 kung gusto mo lumabas, lalo kung may sakit ka. Given yan. Literally and figuratively. Hindi lang given as a theory and figurative. And
Your Honor, parang ganun.
parang ganon. Okay. What about a certain Chinese drug lord from Building 14? Para lang matanggap siya sa NBPH. Ano ba yung NBPH? National Bilibid Hospital, Prison Hospital, correct?
New Bilibid.
New Bilibid. Sorry, meron bang new?
New Bilibid po kasi may old.
Old yun eh. Oh. NB. Do you remember having a case of a certain Dr. Fontanilla paying 500,000 pesos for his referral to ASEAN Hospital and Medical Center?
Matagal na po kasi yung pwedeng maglabas sa private hospitals.
Bawal.
Bawal na po nung ano, pero matagal na po kasi yung posibleng matagal na po siyang nangyari.
So, si UQ Lai, napupunta sa Metropolitan Hospital. Pwede. Bawal naman sa inyo na madalhin sa private hospital. Pero ito dinala ASEAN, malapit na sa Muntinlupa. Kalahating milyon ang hiningi.
Posible pong nangyari siguro yan, Your Honor, yung pag-refer doon sa Asian Hospital nung wala pa pong department order si Secretary de Lima na bawal nang mag-refer sa private hospital.
Nagkaroon siya ng order na bawal na sa private.
Opo.
Ba't kaya naglagay siya ng private? Nag-recommend ba kayo?
Ano, Your Honor?
Nag-recommend ba kayo na, ma'am, huwag nyo lang payagan yung mga private hospital, ginagawa hanap buhay.
I couldn't.
You know, I've seen everything from the ridiculous to the extreme here. For 1,000 pesos, tumatanggap ang mga doktor. And I just have a little note here saying na may mga, and I don't want to say this. I really do not want to say this. This is the second or third time I've gotten it. I even have a picture of it. I think I gave it to the Secretary of Justice the other day, if I'm not mistaken.
Which one is this, Mr. Senator?
That one of our nurses as assigned by one of the inmates. I will give it to you. If I gave it to somebody, to you, Deo. Deo, are you getting to be?
Just been referred to the NBI according to Undersecretary Deo Marcos.
That was delivered to the NBI. Has the NBI checked? No. Walang tulugan dito, bawal. Are we boring to you, sir? I don't. No, he was not sleeping. That's just his style. He's not sleeping. For the record, I don't think you were sleeping. Were you?
No, sir.
O ba't ang tagal mo sumagot?
We're not very-
I'm just kidding. Anyway, that letter, that paper I showed one of our female workers had a baby with one of the inmates. Parang nagiging tilapia. Nasa inyo.
I'm not so certain, Mr.
Kung wala sa inyo, hahanapin ko rito. Bibigyan ko kayo ng another copy.
No,
But
Mr.
there are
Chair.
other information here na because it is so lucrative to sleep with a Chinese drug lord and you can be paid a small fortune. Have you heard of that? Any of you? Dr. Tamayo, have you heard of that? Okay, please answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have heard of that?
Yes.
Ano, mga nurses?
Mga nurses po, pero parang chismis din po eh. Kaya ayoko, hindi ko...
You heard of it, pero parang
I just
chismis.
heard it, Your Honor.
Kayo, Dr. Reseñas, narinig nyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Kayo, Miss Benitez, narinig nyo?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala kayo narinig?
Wala po.
Si Miss Marquez, Reformation, kasama ba yan?
Sir, wala po akong ganong narinig po.
Wala kang ganon. But it's all over. In fact, I have some names here, I don't want to mention it to protect the nurses. But you know, if you don't protect your own people there, madadaan sa tukso because nakikita yung iba talagang pumapayag. Hindi po ba? Is that a crime, Secretary Ibarra? Fraternizing
Pardon me, sir. You're asking whether the woman
an
commits a
employee
crime
of the Bureau of Correctionals goes to bed for a fee for the
Uh,
Chinese inmate.
That's an internal. But obviously, that is in. If we're talking about a government employee sleeping
Yes.
with,
In-
certainly it's a violation of the code of ethics.
Yeah, and she has suation, right? She's in the nursing area.
Apart from violating her own professional code
That's
of
right.
professional
That's right.
conduct.
And that's why I don't want to mention it here. I just say that because, like I say, we've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous sometimes, to the extremely ridiculous. So much so that the conclusion is everything is possible in Muntinlupa or in the correctional system. Sir?
You're asking me, sir? Yeah, well, considering the
Considering what's that?
situation there, where everything seems to have been institutionalized, quote unquote, and everyone seems to be happy, so to speak, there would be no reason really for anybody to complain because everyone, as I said, seems to be happy about it.
That's a very dangerous proposition.
I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah,
I'm not
all right,
saying
and the
that we
fact
should
is-
condone it.
And the fact is, I've not heard any witnesses say everything is hunky-dory in Muntinlupa. Everything is viable. The words I've heard here, it's a money machine. If you have money, how was it heard kanina? Money works for you, or whatever. Money talks. So, we do have a very, very severe problem, don't we?
We do.
And would it be solved by removing everybody and changing everybody? These are wild zigzags that sometimes I even worry about because you heard me say earlier, maglagay ka ng mabuting tao dyan, baka tutuksunin rin. Or would it be better, as we proposed, we divide Muntinlupa, and by the way, it's in the Bucor law, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't need us to do a law like that, but we're doing that because you're not doing anything about it, the Bucor, na pwede kayo mag-recommend ng bagong mga penitentiaries all over the country. And maybe if you divide it, you would have better control of the prisons, and especially if you follow a suggestion that we have also done, it's already on the floor, kasakit lang ako kahapon, where we would have a separate prison, Supermax, na all the drug lords, all the heinous criminals will be in that prison. Pero kinakabahan ako dahil doon sa sinabi nyo kanina, out of 26,000, 18,000 are lifers, maximum. So I would imagine, in your own interpretation or in your view, would it be good for us to have a Supermax?
We have already expressed our agreement with that proposal. We believe that even the Constitution itself makes a special classification for heinous crimes, and for that reason, a statute that would somehow put them in a different type of penitentiary would be still consistent with our constitutional provisions.
And for the record, I've heard my colleagues here from Senate President Rocco, sorry, God bless his soul. Tito Soto, I think Senator Jadon even used the word magic. We can make magic and produce so many hundreds of millions just to have a fair system. So we would be correct in that direction.
In my opinion, yes, Mr. Senator.
Would we be correct if we say an academy, or you get the best in every college who have an inclination to be in penology, and then put them on a course to be handled by the Department of Justice so that you get the best and the brightest from guards, from custodial technical people, to doctors, and then put them together, and then maybe when you overhaul, you can put these people in that area because mukhang sumama na sumama eh. Di ba?
A training academy of that sort would be a welcome addition.
That is where
many reforms that we would like to take.
That is where this representation is going, because you can put in all the gizmos. Meron kang scan, meron kang CCTV, meron kang lahat, maloloko pa. In fact, if you really want to do it, kailangan may bracelet yung mga preso para kung saan pupunta, makikita kagad. I mean, that's something that's done when people go out in America. Even Khashoggi or other people that were charged had that. So I understand that the NBI is not ready to make the report on the telephone, Senator Dillon. It will take them another 6 hours, so I guess we'll just have to suspend the proceedings for the moment. One question lang. Bago ko mag-question. Sige, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would like to ask this question to Atty. Santos. During the last hearing, nung nag-present si Mr. Rafael Ragos ng mga ginagawa doon na kalokohan sa loob ng Bilibid, you were asked by Senator Lacson if it is still continuing yung ganung mga practices hanggang ngayon. Tumango yung ulo mo. Gusto ko lang i-validate. Validate ko lang. Balik ko yung question sa'yo. Nangyayari pa ba yun? Yung tilapia, yung sinasabi niya na pagpasok ng bagong Bucor Director may pasalubong, merong SOP galing sa Mangkiko, yung caterer, at saka yung pagpaalis, meron pa baon. Klaruhin ko lang sa'yo kung nangyayari pa rin yan hanggang ngayon.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, siguro po nalito lang ako doon sa tanong ni Senator Non. Simula po nung dumating kayo, bago kayo kay General Tabian, wala na po noon, lalo na po nung nag-umpisa na grade doon sa Bilibid, wala na po nung mga sinasabi nilang yung tilapia, yung mga nagsusugal, yung alak, yung nagpapasok.
Gusto ko lang, Mr. Chairman, gusto ko lang klaruhin kasi ito, baka magkakaroon ng masamang impresyon yung publiko na dahil doon sa sinasabi ni Mr. Agos na kung nangyayari yan noon sa panahon ni Secretary De Lima, it doesn't follow na nangyayari pa rin sa panahon ni Secretary Aguirre at kay Secretary Guevara. Because ako mismo, nag-director ako doon, mamatay man ako, hindi nangyayari yung sinasabi ni Mr. Agos sa panahon natin. Kaya nga ako pinadala ni President Duterte doon para i-correct yung mga kalokohan na ginagawa doon. Kaya lang gusto ko lang klaruhin yan. Kasi tumango ka nung tinanong ka ni Senator Lacson kung nagpapatuloy pa yung mga practices na yan.
As I've said, Your Honor, nalito lang po ako sa tanong. Nung pong dumating kayo, wala na po yun. Simula nung nag-grade tayo, hindi na po nangyayari yung gano'n.
Kasi alam ko yung tilapia na yan, ginagamit yan nila doon, lalong-lalo na yung sa RDC. Yung mga Chinese doon na pinapapasok yung mga babae, noon daw yun. Pero nung pagdating ko, sabi ko, walang makapasok dyan na babae kung hindi asawa or common law wife, kunin niyo yung pangalan, yun lang. Kaya gusto ko lang i-correct. Para fair naman tayo, baka sabihin ng mga tao na tayo sa Bucor, wala na lang tayong ginawa, na ilang beses na nangyari yan noon, hanggang ngayon nagpapatuloy pa. So klaruhin ko lang na hindi yan nangyari during my time.
Tama po yun, Your Honor.
I really bet my neck kung ginagawa yan sa panahon ko dahil unfair naman. Tayo lahat nagtatrabaho tapos sabihin mo nagpapatuloy. Yun lang, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you for defending yourself. I know. Kami? Just pulling her leg. Yes, Secretary Aguirre.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bago po ako umalis, gusto ko palang klaruhin yung aking stand kanina, no? Kasi alam natin na itong gulong ito ay nag-umpisa lamang nung panahon ng malaman ng media na palalayain si Mayor Sanchez. Meron po akong nakita na hindi maaaring palayain si Mayor Sanchez sapagkat si Mayor Sanchez ay meron siyang admitted na hindi binabayarang indemnification sa mga kaanak ng mga biktima niya. Under the law, at meron po tayong decision ng Supreme Court dyan, na although ang indemnification is civil in character, pag yan ay nilagay o sa penalty ng batas sa isang criminal case, it is part of the penalty and it must be served. Kaya po hindi niya nasa-serve yan, kaya hindi siya bibigyan dapat ng anumang good conduct allowance. Ang tinutukoy ko pong case itong Alonso Bagtas Aliandrino versus Director of Prisons, GR number L3215, October 6, 1949. At sinaitin po dyan yung naunang case ng Jose Arlinda versus Director of Prisons, GR number 47336. Kaya po wala po tayong dapat ipangamba sapagkat ito ay admitted ni Mayor Sanchez na hindi niya sinunod and nakalagay dito subsidiary imprisonment forms part of the penalty. Its imposition is required by Article 39, and in case of insolvency of the accused, to meet the pecuniary liabilities, ito po yung civil liabilities, mentioned in the first 3 paragraphs, it cannot be eliminated under Article 70.
Mr. Secretary, hindi ba that refers to the fine as a penalty?
Hindi po, hindi lang po fine.
Hindi lang fine.
Sinabi ng Supreme Court dito, as a matter of fact, yung fine dun sa enumeration ay yung pang pinakahuli eh. Ang nakalagay dito, reparation of damage. Number 2, indemnification of consequential damages. Number 3 lang ang fine. Dapat i-serve yun in that order. Kaya po hindi maaaring pakawalan si Mayor Sanchez. Sapagkat we should not lose of the fact that itong bagong batas, itong GCTA na ito, this was the intention of the lawmakers is reformative, and so that this inmates who committed heinous crimes will be reintegrated into the Philippine society. Pag sinabi po natin na hindi sila maaaring mag-benefit dyan, ang ibig pong sabihin natin dyan ay talagang pinabayaan natin yung mga taong yan. Alam po ninyo, nung ako'y Secretary of Justice, panay ang tawag sa akin ng mga convicted of murder, ganyan. Paano naman sabi Secretary Aguirre, kami po ay nagtuturo na ngayon, talagang nagpapakabait na kami. In other words, yung bang isang pagkakamali ng isang tao ay i-condemn natin sila ng buong buhay. Dito sa case na ito, sa batas na ito, talagang hindi sinasabi dito na hindi kasama ang those convicted of heinous crimes. Kasama po sila. But, ang suggestion ko is that we must strengthen the MSEC or Management Screening and Evaluation Committee. Dapat po siguro yan talagang ipagpatuloy ang suspension ng pag-aaral kung sinong palalayain in accordance with this good conduct allowance. Kasi wala tayong objective criteria dito eh. Kaya I suggest that since there are about 1,900 plus, I suggest that we form a Management Screening and Evaluation Committee na marami sila. Parang gagawin nating sa Court of Appeals, 1st Division, 2nd Division, 3rd, 4th, 5th, kung maaari hanggang 10, para lamang mapag-aralan natin itong mga inmates na ito kung sila talagang nag-conduct ng nagkaroon sila ng good conduct allowance. Sapagkat hindi po natin napapag-aralan eh, katulad ditong kay Mayor Sanchez na nakunan ng 1.5 million worth of shabu doon sa kanyang cell na nagkaroon ng raid noong 2015 at na-seize ang flat TV and air conditioning unit. And C, yun nga, non-payment of indemnity in favor of the victims. Yan ang dapat talagang tingnan. And hanggat hindi napapag-aralan itong ating Management Screening Evaluation Committee, paramihin natin to para mapadali ang pag-aaral, para hindi naman yung iba na dapat talagang palayain na ay hindi magtatagal. Kaya I suggest ito po ang tingnan natin. Hindi baling magsampung Management Screening Committees ito, as long as mapadali lamang ang pag-aaral kung talagang itong mga taong ito ay nagkaroon ng good conduct allowance.
Thank you. We've gone through that, sir. I just want to ask Secretary Guevara, are we sure we only let out 1,914 sa GCTA? Or are there really tens of thousands, practically, since 2013?
The list that was initially published, numbering about 1,900 plus, pertain to those who had been convicted of heinous crimes.
Yes.
But as it's turning out now, apparently by admission of the Bucor people themselves, there were certain errors in that list. No?
Many errors.
Yes, quite a number of errors. And so we have taken it upon ourselves to sanitize that list, to double check that, precisely because today is the deadline for them to voluntarily turn themselves in, and starting tomorrow, they may be considered fugitives, and a manhunt will be launched by law enforcement officers against them. So before that time comes, we will come out with the sanitized or the corrected list. And we're removing from that list those who have already surrendered because they're already in, plus those corrections that we have to make. We understand that some people who have been granted executive clemency were also in that list. Some had fully served their sentence even without GCTA. Some were on parole. So we'll have to weed them out so that they won't be included in that list of wanted, so-called wanted fugitives from justice.
Thank you. That's why I reiterate my request that, for example, I have here figures as much as 2010 and to date, no? Grand total of 43,558. So hindi natin malaman dito kung ano ang GCTA, ano ang serve sentence, ano kung dapat talaga magawa yun na naka-matrix, no? And then another one here, number of released PDL granted GCTA from 2014 to August 20, 2019. And I'd like to commend my staff for doing this as well. The Blue Ribbon and the Justice Committee staff as well. We're talking about total number of PDL granted GCTA retroactively aabot ng 18,885. So I just want to be sure, because maraming statements that are loosely being brought out like dead or alive. I don't think the president meant to have them shot or killed, no? It's really more of an emphasis. Again, I'm thinking as a mayor myself, you know, like Mayor Lim before, you know, sinasabi niya dead or alive, but they don't really mean that because that's illegal, right? We all know that. But having said that, we owe the public a very clear accounting of all these people that were sent out. I have here Secretary Mendoza. Did you want to say something, sir?
Two remarks, Mr. Chairman.
Can you move the microphone, please?
As to the statement of Secretary Aguirre, what I would like to emphasize is that in the Sanchez case, the mortal sin is the disregard of the sentence.
Yes.
It is not the subsidiary liability. It is not the civil indemnity. It is the disregard of the sentence
9.
that he should be serving 109 times 30, 270 years. That was disregarded. That is the mortal sin in the Sanchez case. So, good conduct allowance, never, the starting point always is the sentence. That is the provisions of the revised penal code. Now, as to the list, I think it needs some sanitation. Included in that list is a client of mine, Rolito Go. There is a final and executory judgment of the Supreme Court that he has served the sentence, and that is why he was ordered released. Why is he included in the list? The Supreme Court has already decided that he has served the sentence. Second, also included in the list is Warren Singapan, but Warren Singapan was released principally because of the commutation of his sentence by the President. Only 8 weeks after the commutation, surely the President did not consider the crime that he committed as heinous. Otherwise, there would have been no commutation of sentence. So I suggest that they be deleted from the list. The problem is that all these people in the list are worrying no end because they are afraid to be arrested anytime. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Yes.
Exactly that. That is what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, when we talked about it at lunch.
Yes, and now that the case of Rolito Go has been adequately explained to us, we'll make sure that he will be delisted. from the list after proper verification.
But how many others are like that? Because we don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah, that is very true.
We
That's
have to
why.
make sure that
Correct.
we are accurate. Otherwise, we're bound to have errors. And again, the rigmarole or the effort that some people try to take advantage of asking for money
Yes.
will happen again. So I implore you that our people at the Department of Justice check this out so that it can be properly disseminated to the arresting officers, if any.
That's what we're working on right now, Mr. Senator.
How long will it take you to come up with the 1,914 with the names and as an accurate list?
Senator, yung mga nag-surrender na po, yung nasa custody na po ng Bucor and PNP, will not be included in this sanitized list anymore. Dahil anyway, nandito na
Sir,
sila sa loob.
excuse me. They have already surrendered. But dapat tingnan natin if they availed of the benefits under the CGTA law. Because as Attorney Mendoza is saying, his sentence may have been commuted by the President in exercise of the President's power to commute. That certainly cannot be questioned. Or if he has fully served his sentence without GCTA benefits. So even those who surrendered, my strong suggestion is let's take it up one by one. In fairness and in the name of justice, whether or not they were unduly benefited by the wrong application of the good conduct time allowance law, because for all we know, they did not fall under this classification.
Tama po yan, Senator. As a matter of fact, yun nga po ang gagawin ng Bucor as soon as these people turn themselves in. I-verify kung sila po ay nagpo-fall doon sa improperly or unlawfully given good conduct time allowances. Ang sinasabi po namin doon sa sanitized list na iahabol bago maghating gabi today, ay hindi na po namin isasama sa listahan pa uli yung mga nakasurrender na kasi naka-turn themselves in na po sila eh. Ang gagawin sa kanila po ay i-evaluate na kagad kung sila ba ay dapat nang palayain uli o itutuloy nila yung kanilang sentensya kasi nakasama nga po sila doon sa improperly or unlawfully given good conduct time allowance. Pero yung sa listahan ho, yun na lamang pong natitira na hindi pa turn themselves voluntarily in. Yun na lamang po.
Secretary, I don't mean to flog a dead horse. Pero I asked the Supreme Court Administrator because nahirapan kami. Lahat nung nakalagay na sentensya, katulad nung kay Napoles nga, ang kaso niya ay rape, which is really wrong, no? And that's acceptable na may mali, no? Pero so I asked them because we were looking at all the SCRA, and many of the cases that were included in the list were not even in the SCRA. So I would like to turn this over to you. This is done by the court administrator staff. And just to give you an idea, ang dami talagang na hindi na-appreciate. Domingo Bonifacio, E. Santiago, offense stated in Bucor list is simple rape. Pero robbery with homicide, convicted ang talagang offense in the Supreme Court decision. Or Dante Icabilin, murder and rape. Pero ito, ang kanyang offense in the Supreme Court decision is violation of Section 8 and 16, Article 3, 6425, dangerous drugs, di ba? Then, Payopay, Crispin Maro, multiple rape, pero rape lang, acquitted siya, pero nasa listahan siya. So you see, these are the things that, and I can go on and on, I'd like to give this to you, para naman in fairness to the efforts of the Supreme Court through Justice Maidas, I can give this to you so it will make your job easier. Is that okay with you?
Maraming salamat po. That will help a lot in sanitizing the list.
Just tell you that the Senate is very serious, the staffs of the judiciary and the staffs of the Blue Ribbon and my own staff, as well as the staff of Senator Vilon, I'm sure, and all the other senators, particularly Senate President Soto and Lacson, all our staff are working on the same page on this one, and we don't want to make any more mistakes. I was trying to get somebody here to testify on the matter of pati yung pagkain niloloko. No? I think they just called there already on Espana about 15 minutes ago. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask, because inimbitan namin natin ng COA, Director Irma Besas, right?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Have you been sworn in, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir?
Have you been sworn in?
None yet.
Okay, this good-looking gentleman, Father Kimbo. Alright, ma'am, kayo sa COA, nakikita niyo yung gulo rito, no? Siyempre may budget ho ang Bureau of Prisons, ano po?
Yes, sir.
At pwede niyo siya sa atin yung budget na yun kung ginagastos ng tama.
Opo, sir.
Paano niyo malalaman kung ilan ang laman ng preso at malalaman niyo, ang dami niyo na palang pinalabas, kumukuha pa kayo ng budget?
Actually, sir, we are getting information also from from Bucor management on how many inmates are.
You know why I'm smiling? I'm not getting good information from them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Somebody was tweeting me, bakit mo tatawagin ako para magbilang ng preso? Sila lang pinagkakatiwala ko na marunong magbilang eh.
Yes, sir, because may restrictions din ho kasi minsan in it's not that easy to get information from them. Although we are
you're telling us, yes.
Meron pong konting restrictions, so medyo doon lang po kami nahihirapan.
Mhm.
Kasi hindi ho kami ganun kabilis din makakuha ng information, especially pag ini-invoke na po yung sabing may involved ang national security, yan po.
Hindi naman pwede invoke yung national
Yes, sir.
security.
Kaya nga po, we really insist on getting information from them.
So we would like to ask you to take a look at the numbers from December 12 to the present, and maybe find it in your way to say it's possible to have a daily count. Yeah,
Daily count,
sir. Secretary of Justice, hindi ho ba ginagawa sa preso yan? O yan, si
head count.
Attorney Santos. Araw-araw ba nagbibilang kayo doon sa bilanggo?
Yes, sir.
See, kaya kunin yan eh. Di ba? Bago, anong oras kayo nagbibilang sa gabi?
Sa umaga po, 8 a.m. Sa hapon, 4 p.m. Sa gabi po, 12 p.m. po.
So, 3 bilang.
3 bilang po.
So, dapat walang excuse. Dapat alam nyo kung ilan ang tao sa bilanggo na nandun, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ba't hindi maibigay?
Yung actual po, sir, yan, meron po siyang
Sino may hawak nun?
sa OPSEN po yan, actual, meron po yan daily na bilang na actual, meron po yan. Hindi ko lang po alam ba't hindi
So,
siya
tonight, if I
nagtatalo.
ask Opsel, ano ang bilang niya dyan, may bibigay yan.
Mabibigay po, sir.
At masasabi nila kung ilan na lumabas ngayong araw na ito.
Yes, sir. Wala yung very
Ilan na parole.
Yes, sir.
Ilan na expired sentence.
Hindi ko lang po alam, Your Honor, kung ganun kadetalye. Pero yung actual po siya na nandun na nakakulong, ano po, dahil may counting po siya.
Okay, that's what we need. And I hope COA will... Kasi may narinig kami dito, ang budget ng bilibid sa pagkain ay umaabot ng 1 billion? Total. 702 million per year. Almost a billion. Ito yung budget sa food. Ano?
Subsistence allowance po, sir.
For subsistence allowance.
Yes, sir.
3 beses kakain yung mga bilanggo.
Opo.
Alright. At ang lumalabas dito, 70 pesos budget for food allocated. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, yes, sir.
Ang budget lumalabas dito actual is 39 pesos budget actual. In other words, kung 39 isang bilanggo, ang pagkain niya ay 13 pesos per meal.
Approximately, yes, or Your Honor.
Approximately 13 times 3 is 39. Magdududa lang ako sa inyo yan.
Hindi, sir.
So, 39.
13.
39 pesos. So, kung kinompute nyo yan, times 27,484, times 39, yun ang binibigay. Then, saan napunta yung kalahati niya? No? Di ba, 1,071,876 pesos per day.
times 365 days equals 391,234,740. So pag sinubtract mo sa budget yan, 702 million minus 391 million equals 310.9 million. Commission. Commission ba yan? I'm sorry, hindi ba? Nabasa ko lang dito. Ano yung commission ba yan? Hindi nagamit eh. Yes, ma'am.
Answer. Sir, yung pong the budget intended for the subsistence of PDLs are intended for the catering are subjected to a public bidding. So it does not
Uy,
mean,
bakit
however,
yung si Makiko hindi na dumaan sa bidding? Meron kayo report na gano'n?
yes po.
Oh.
It is
Pinabasa namin yung report nyo.
yes, it is under appeal with the commission, sir. While there is an allowance of 70 pesos per PDLs, it does not follow, sir, that it is all spent for the subsistence of PDLs because it is the money goes really to the bidder who quoted the lowest price. So a bidder may quote for say 60 pesos for the meals of the PDL. So the rest of the money is
that questionable? 13 pesos per meal? 13.
13?
39 pesos a day.
Parang hindi naman ata.
13 pesos per meal.
For the 13?
Per meal.
39? Wow, parang ano.
Ayan ang yung computation. So lumalabas 39 pesos lang. Wala pa tayo doon sa wala pa tayo doon sa nawawalang pera.
Opo. Pero Your Honor, I suppose that the remainder of the, say, if it is at 39 peso per meal per inmate, I suppose, sir, that the remainder is left in the coffer of the Bucor. And if it is unspent at the end of the year, it is reverted to the National Treasury, Your
What is
Honor.
your finding? Wala naman na hindi spent eh. Nabigay na. In fact, we have testimony here the other day na pati yung pera na para sa pagkain eh, kinagat eh. Di ba? Mr. Ragos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Nag-aabot si Makiko, nag-i-try ka, di ba? Makiko ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor. Through Rakoff, my friend.
Ayun.
I'm sorry, but that was not touched in our audit, sir.
I strongly suggest you touch that in your audit daily. And I would imagine, can you not make them say, report your daily food? You know, I once spoke in the U.S. Navy in San Diego many years ago. Many Filipinos are what they call management specialists. They prepare the food every day for, let's say, an aircraft carrier. And they have a budget for that. Kailangan tawa yung budget, susukatin nila. Pagka kinapos yun, mumurahin sila ng kapitan o ng admiral. Pagka sumobra, mumurahin din sila. Kaya talagang pinagkakasya nila na tama-tama yung budget. Pero masarap ang pagkain ng US Navy. So ito, kung may budget kayo na 70 pesos a day, ba 70 pesos? 70. Dapat ginagamit yun. Lumalabas dito, 39 pesos lang ginagamit. Dahil nagporsupuesto na pagbigay ng bidding, meron na kagad yung mga bossing.
Your Honor, the giving of commission to, say...
Is illegal.
Yes, sir. And we have, I mean, hindi po namin ma-prove in audit that the commissioning really happens.
Hindi ma-audit, kung sabihin niya daily, pakita niyo sa amin ang bawal pakain niyo, hindi pwede. Mr. Santos, pwede ba yan? Ilan ang kumain ngayong umaga? Ilan ang kumain ngayong tanghali? Ilan ang kumain ngayong gabi?
Sir, nalalaman po kasi may actual po na bilang siya per day. Yun po ang sinasama sa pagsingil nila sa billing nila. Kaya nakikita po per day kung ilan ang kumakain kasi may lumalaya po at may na-admit eh.
That's right. Kung may lumalaya, babawas, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung mahina ang pasok ng bagong preso, mahina, babawas, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, I just want to flag you on that. There's somebody supposed to come here and testify on that, but still waiting for him. But the other thing that concerns me, and I know some of you may not be interested in this, is, do you bother to count how many toilet bowls there are? What is the ideal toilet ratio to prisoners? There are 29,000 prisoners. How many toilet bowls should you have? And this NBP hospital yan. Pero dito sa facility. Kasi kung gagawa tayo ng presong bago, dapat meron tayo talagang rule of thumb kung ilan ang preso na talagang hindi naman sila mukhang bahala ka na sa buhay mo dyan. Kaya ba kayo naroon?
Sir, in our case, wala po kaming audit. We have not touched that particular aspect in audit, sir.
Would you be able to make that suggestion to the Bureau of Prisons or to the Secretary of Justice para di tayo napupunan ng international community na subhuman conditions ang nangagawa natin?
Okay, sir. Sir, we can always focus that in our audit for 2019.
That should be done.
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
Because sabi nga nila, the face of a country can be seen in the way it treats the most lowly. I will not say that the prisoners are the most lowly, pero at least dapat may minimum allowed na dapat kakanin nila o yung minimum standards of cleanliness and hygiene. Para sa ganon, they will have that. Pero it's possible na kung dahil preso, wala bang pakialam dyan ng sino ang public health ninyo dyan sa Muntinlupa? Kayo ba mga doktor yan?
May sanitation officer po kami.
Doktor ba yan?
Hindi po.
Public health expert ba yan?
Hindi po. Medtech po yun. Medical technologist po.
I suggest you talk to the Department of Health and we put it in the law that somebody should be assigned there to handle public health and sanitation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Diba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then finally, I would like to make the suggestion that I was reading the column today in the Inquirer, which hits me from time to time. That's all right. Sama sa trabaho ng isang politiko yan. But I read the column of, I think, my Saras Deo, kanina, or was it Saras Deo, or the other lady in Inquirer. And she was talking about this winner of the Ramon Magsaysay Award. I think you should read it. If somebody can get me a copy, I'd appreciate it. At sinasabi niya doon that she made an extreme effort and she's from India. And in India, they have the worst prisons. Ang dami talaga. But she managed to fix up the prison system by way of treating the prisoners in a correct manner. Di may ni-spoil, pero maayos ang treatment. And that, I think, is incumbent upon all of us to make sure, just because kinonvict mo, bahala ka na sa buhay mo dyan, kung gagalisin ka, kung magkasakit kayo dyan, ano talaga mga protocols, mukhang hindi handa yung protocols niyo kung papalabasin. Sa emergency lang, hindi nyo alam kung dapat may ambulansya na kayo standby. Bakit aabutan ka sa dulo-dulo? Meron namang hospital na malapit sa Muntinlupa, di ba? At bakit kami nakakarinig ng mga hospital na tumatanggap ng mga preso, including Mr. Sanchez, na nakakalabas sa preso, kunyari, dadali sa hospital. Nangyayari yan, di ba, Dr. Tamayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know of any instance na nangyari yan?
Regarding Mr. Sanchez po, nakalabas na po siya, Your Honor.
Nakalabas siya, di ba? Ang masama nun, nakalabas
Yes, sir.
siya, pero nandun siya sa kanyang pamilya. Nakatira doon for the night or for 2 nights. Or for that matter, someone in prison, I don't have the name right now, goes to General Santos, allegedly, Secretary Ibarra, you might want to investigate this, dahil may kaso. At buwan-buwan, pinapalabas siya. Buwan-buwan halos pinapalabas siya dahil may hearing raw doon. Pero hindi naman natutuloy yung hearing, so nakaka 2 days, 3 days siya nakakapagbakasyon doon. So, really, this is totally unacceptable. We really have to be firm, punish those. Huwag natin pabayaan makalabas because of technicalities. Huwag natin palabas dahil hindi tayo nakakabilang. Everybody should be accountable for it. One question to Attorney Santos. I have heard that some of the Chinese nagpapaaral sila ng mga guards na maging abogado. Is that correct?
Hindi naman po, sir. Hindi po. Hindi po. Meron po doon mga, diba, nabibigay ng halimbawa, 500, ganon.
Inmate.
Para lang hindi mo na sila puntahan, para hindi mo sila maimbestigahan, para hindi mo sila
Pero
abalahin.
bawal yun, di ba? Alam mo yan.
Meron po, sir. Meron pong ganon. Meron pong ganon, sir.
I don't mean any disrespect,
Yes, sir.
pero I've heard na ikaw, gumraduate ka dahil may nagpaaral sa'yo.
Ay, wala po,
Sa
sir.
inmate.
Sarili ko
I
po.
just want to make sure that we kill that, if that is the truth.
Yes, sir.
Na wala nagpaaral sa'yo, fine. But I also heard that there are several people na pinapaaral ng mga preso because in return for that favors. I've even heard. Have you ever heard of the Innova gang?
Meron po, Your Honor.
Ano yung Innova gang?
Inimbestigahan, parang may mga gwardiya po na nakabili ng Innova na sasakyan.
At ang nagbabayad ay yung inmate.
Ang sabi po, Your Honor.
Hulog-hulog, right?
Pero inimbestigahan po ng ombudsman yun.
Hindi ko pa talagang imbestiga. So narinig mo, merong Innova gang.
Yes, Your Honor. Po.
At ang sumasagot ng hulog ng Innova ay sila. And in return for that, nagpapasok sila ng kontrabando. Like drugs. Mga gwardiya yan eh.
Yun po ang allegation na po, Your Honor.
Again, natanong kita, where there's smoke, there's fire. Nung sinabi ko Innova gang, nagreact ka agad. Yes, I've heard of that. Iniimbestigahan ka agad ang sabi mo. But, nangyayari.
Nangyayari po, Your Honor.
Thank you. So I can go on and on and on, and I would like to look for praises for Muntinlupa. Did somebody get the newspaper? Inquirer? Yan yun lang dyan sa internet. Pero, I don't want to go on and parang ginugulpi namin dito ang Bureau of Prisons because what we want to do is reform. Maayos. Na parehas. Na pagka may good behavior ka, hindi ka pwede takot-takutin. Di ba? Kung may sakit ka, pwede kang pagamot. Right? Ang kulang pagkain mo, dadala ka ng pagkain, hindi ka sisigilin sa pagdagdag ng pagkain mo na baon ng asawa mo. At kung magkamisan, hindi rin naman may bibigay yung asawa mo dahil masyadong malakas yung kwan. Ayan, no? For Bucor, Akiran Bedi, 1994, Rabon Magsaysay. This is today. Awardee for government service, Kiran Peshawaria Bedi, a woman officer from the Indian Police Service, was cited for building confidence in India's police through dynamic leadership and effective innovations in crime control, drug rehabilitation, and human prison reform. Can you go down? Yan. 1993, when Bedi became Inspector General of Prisons in Delhi, she took charge of Tihar, India's largest prison complex. She had already been in the service for 22 years and had served in various capacities. Bedi spent her early years in a Catholic school in Amritsar. Did excellently in school. So, andyan lahat yung sinasabi niyang ginawa. Go down, go down. She set up detoxification clinics sa mga narcotics at saka doon sa preso. Bedi introduced reforms and created a regimen of work, study, play, and even meditation. Illiterate prisoners were taught how to read and write. while others went for higher learning. Skills training for livelihood was part of the regimen, preparing prisoners for life outside the walls. And you can see breaking down adversarial relations within the police and the community, and each one seeks to replace the hard hand of punishment with the healing hand of rehabilitation. This is today's newspaper. At tapat lang. I tried to read and tried to keep up, so I thought I'd pass this on to the secretary for whatever reason it may be well worth as well. Take a look. Certainly, we're taking into consideration this in the crafting of the bill. Wala ba may witness? Hindi natin kayo kaya. Ross Boulevard na. Can you find out? Well, we have a witness that's coming that for the benefit of COA and for the benefit of everyone, malalaman natin ngayon kung paano ginagawa yung paglagari ng budget para hindi umabot sa preso yung kakainin nila na pupunta sa bulsa ng ilan. How do you feel about that, ma'am? Irma?
Malungkot po yun. It's really sad to hear that that money intended for the PDLs ay hindi po naman pala napupunta para sa kanila.
Yeah. Well, I must tell you na kami dito ng mga senador talagang malungkot kami pag nag-uusap kami. Para ba nagtatanong kami, ano ba ito, pati naman lahat kinukuha na, pati barya inaagaw. Pati yung kakainin na lang ng preso, wala pa rin. Kaya magtataka kayo, paglabas yan, masama pa rin ang attitude sa buhay, galit sa mundo. Yes, Mr. Gamboa. Godfrey.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, according to, or tungkol po doon sa pagkain, yan po ang alam ng lahat ng mga bilanggo, na ayaw nilang palabasin ang bilanggo dahil sakat sa pagkain.
Ayaw nilang palabasin?
Dahil malaki ang cut nila sa pagkain. Malaki ang kinikita nila pagdating sa pagkain.
Malaki ang kinikita dahil sa pagkain?
We are talking about millions.
Millions?
Opo, sir. Yan po ang dahilan na alam ng mga bilanggo kung bakit ayaw pa nilang palayain yung mga dapat lumaya.
Dahil pinagkakakitahan rin yan?
Opo, sir.
That's logical. Mas maraming preso, makikita sila. Maraming budget. Ano ba yan?
Opo, sir. Alam na mga bilanggo yun. Kasi maraming dapat lumaya. Bakit ayaw palayain? So, sa pagkalam na mga bilanggo, yun ang dahilan. Dahil malaki ang kinikita nila.
Yun nga sinasabi namin, lahat ng nangyayari dito, pinagkakakitaan. Dito sa BJMP, yan, nahanap kita kanina. Superintendent Ruel Rivera.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Nangyayari ba yung nangyayari doon sa pagkain dyan?
Yung may mga complaints dyan, sir, about pagkain.
Siyempre meron.
Yes, sir.
Pero, umaabot ba yung pagkain? Magkano budget doon sa pagkain?
The same, sir, 70 pesos per day, sir.
70 rin?
Yes, sir, opo, sir.
Pero may complaint pa rin?
Yes, sir, may mga complaints, sir. Hindi ko po, sir,
Pero sabihin mo talaga ang katotohanan. Kargado ang BJMP ng preso.
Yes, sir, opo, sir.
10% overloaded? 20% overloaded?
More than, sir.
Ilan?
398% overloaded, sir.
319% overloaded.
398, sir. 398, sir.
So almost 400% overloaded. Totoo ba may appointment dyan para humiga?
Actually, sir, hindi na po kaya, sir, makipag-appointment kasi po, katulad po nung Manila City Jail, halos, sir, hali-halinin po ang paghiga po palit-palit.
Lalo na kung bago kang preso, makikiusap ka, hindi ka papahigain.
Ang ginagawa, sir, itong oras na ito, in some cases, sa araw, sir, ikaw. Then next, yung pong ganito. Yung po ang nangyayari.
Kung kinakabos kayo sa preso, bakit hindi kayo sumusulat sa Congress na dagdagan ang mga penitentiary o mga detention centers?
Actually, Your Honor, marami na po kaming instances na sumusulat po at nagre-request ng pondo.
Sinusuporta ba ng Department of Budget and Management?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir,
Sigurado ka, ha?
yes, sir. On record, sir, noong 2018, may release po silang 336 million. But ang amin pong request ay 4.2 billion on record, sir.
Kaya nga, ang hindi nyo 4.2 billion, ang binigay sa inyo, 318 million.
336 million, sir. Your
Three?
Honor. 336 million pesos, Your Honor.
Have you ever tried inviting the budget secretary or any of the budget people to go down there to take a look?
Wala pa po, sir. That is the real truth, sir. But we present, sir, during the budget hearing, yung real scenario, sir, with pictures, with statistics, sir.
Meron ka ba pictures dyan ngayon? Palagi ko ako meron, hahanapin na sandali sa computer ko. Pero
Actually, sir, yun po yung picture na isa po namin ginagamit, yung isang jail namin na talaga, sir, more than a sardinas po.
more than sardinas. And paliguan, paano ang paliguan?
Sir, yun naman sa paliguan, sir, ang ano ng BJMP, ang policy namin, every cell po ay meron po kaming isang toilet and bowl.
Every?
Every cell po, isa pong selda.
Ilan ang laman ng selda?
At dito po, meron po kaming tinatawag dito po sa bagong policy namin ng tatayo ng selda, we call it type A, B, and C. Meaning po yung type A jail namin, worth 8 million, 40 PDL po ang yung standard po yon, yung standard na hindi
40.
po. 40 po. That
Meron
is 4.7 square meter per PDL po. Yung po yung
4.7.
Yes,
Pero sa
standard po.
katotohanan,
sa katotohanan, sir, almost double at meron pa po, sa total po, sa nationwide, 398% of congestion po. Yun po ang realidad po ng BJMP, Your Honor.
isn't that dangerous for you? At some point in time, magwawala yung mga preso doon, magra-riot?
Actually, sir, may mga punto pong ganyan, but we try po na kausapin nila, ito lang po muna, kasi ito lang po talaga yung situation namin.
Meron akong pinahil na bill na approve na ni Presidente na pagka ikaw ay arresto mayor o arresto minor, hindi ka naman na magsaserve. Makakatulong ba sa inyo yan? Magkakaroon ng community service?
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Gaano karami ang arresto mayor at arresto minor doon sa mga preso dati?
I will provide this committee, sir, of that statistics, sir.
Pero at the top of your head, ano ang pinakamaraming nagsisilbi sa inyo? Marami
Yes, sir.
bang heinous crimes?
Heinous crime, sir, kokonte, but yung drugs po, sir, talaga yung pinakamarami.
Alin?
Drug-related cases po, sir.
Yeah, meron nagsasabi masyadong matindi yung drug cases natin, kaya napupuno ang selda. Tama ba yan?
Tama po, sir. Marami sila nagkukumit ng crimes pertaining to drug-related cases.
At kumisan, meron rin kalokohan dyan sa drugs, di ba? Naglalagay ang pulis na kumisan ng droga. Totoo ba yan?
I cannot answer for that purpose
Wait
of
mo
the
naman.
PNP, sir.
Ang totoo niya, marami talagang nakukulong dahil hindi nagdi-deliver yung tao. Pag hinuli, hiningan, sasabihin may drugs. Totoo ba yan?
Sir, sorry, sir.
I have many people who complain to me about that.
Maybe, sir, it's happening.
Well, sa akin, if you take drugs, pasensya ka na lang. Talagang dapat parusahan ka. But, kung may isasuggest ka na, let's say, ilang gramo ang kailangan bago ka secretary, do you have a plan for that?
There was this resolution issued by the Supreme Court on plea bargaining, and that probably contributed a lot to some congestion in the city jails.
You and I sit in the JBC, and I've heard our colleagues there na talagang dapat may ayos yung mga definition ng what constitutes in drug possession, drug pushing,
and make it a little bit more manageable. That's what my question is. Ano yung manageable?
We really have to study that matter further.
You're always so correct. So I would like you to give me some suggestions for the Committee on Justice to prepare some adjustments in our dangerous drugs law para hindi masyadong na-overload ang mga prisons natin at maybe some form of other penalties other than detention right away can be undertaken. I don't know what, but I'm going to have to take a look at it myself. Okay? Basta na? Wala na? Wala pa? Well, I don't want to keep everybody here. So, in the meantime, I'm now constrained to suspend the hearing. I was going to wait for the report of the NBI, but niabot at saka yung magko-complain tungkol doon sa pagkain. So, with your permission and everybody else, and with my thanks, thank you for your patience. We will suspend the proceedings until Thursday, October 1, 2019, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Hopefully we can finish this already. 10 a.m. I'm praying we finish it. Believe you me, I still have the other cases and the other committee hearings that I have to do. I don't really enjoy this much. Thank you very much, and the session is suspended until October 1 at 10 o'clock.